All right, let's see. So we are going to, hold on 1 second, add left. Well, now your volume went away. What happened?
You're good.
There you are. Stop pressing buttons. Good night. All right. Now I'm on a different system now, so I gotta change something real quick, okay? Hold on a second. All right. So give me 1 second because I gotta add a new screen here. All right, so this is source blank. All right, and then boom, there's that. You know what? I don't like that. We're going right there. All right. You can see me, right? You can hear me. We're all good there?
We can hear you. We can't see you, but we're good with that.
You can't see me. All right, very good. Let me make sure I'm good on my end. How about if I do that? Can you see me now? No.
I can just see you through my phone. We got it hooked up to a big screen TV.
I got you. So it's just all people. All right, well, listen, no big deal. If you've got everybody round and you can hear me, let's go ahead and get this party started. Is that good? Everybody's got me on good sound?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. So Coach has asked me to come on. I'll just give you guys a little bit of background. I'm going to take about 15 minutes of your time there. The way I understand it, you're a 10U team just getting started in your journey. And, so just to give you a little bit of background on me, my name is Bill Hoops. I've been in softball for 13 years. My daughter started back in 2011 in 10U softball, just like you guys are now. I went through Little League and figured out what travel ball was. I had my first travel ball team in 12s, a team called the Safety Harbor Stone Crabs. We did that for about 2.5 years, from 10s all the way up to first year 14s. And then the coach decided that he did not want to coach anymore. And then I brought an organization to Florida called the Firecrackers. They were from California, and I had the first Florida team. A guy named Scott out of Georgia had the first Georgia team, and I built that over the years to an 18-team organization in the state of Florida, where in 2018, Premier Girls Fastpitch reached out to me and asked me, did I want to start running tournaments, which I've been running all of the PGF tournaments in Florida since 2018. My daughter was a 2019 high school graduate, a 2023 college graduate. She played Division II softball for 4 years at Florida Southern. I coached high school softball for 3 years. In 2019, I won the 3A state championship in the state of Florida. I've won the Colorado Sparkler 18U division. I've won the Triple Crown Myrtle Beach, South Carolina tournament in 18U, and I have a top 5 finish in PGF Nationals. The reason that I bring all that to your attention is just to add validity to the person that you're speaking with, since really you can't see me and all you have is a voice. So I've been doing this for a long, long time, and my mission in softball now, on top of running tournaments, is education. I want to speak with parents and families and players from all age groups, from 8 to 18U, because I have seen every good thing and bad thing that you could possibly think of in this sport. I have seen players and parents and coaches get along and go all the way through. I have personally lost 6 players in a weekend from a team of mine way back in 2016. So I've seen every nook and cranny, and the one thing I can tell you in this phase of my softball life is to enjoy the moments that you have now. 10U softball is wild, and the balls are thrown all over the place, and the butterflies are chased in the outfield, and you can't understand why catchers can't pass that ball. And if she could just get the ball across the plate, we could get out of this game, which leads into 5 errors, which leads into parents going crazy and kids really just wanting ice cream at the end of the day. right? So the hardest thing for us to do, especially because we as adults want to compete, right? And kids want to compete, but your 10-year-old does not nearly want to compete as much as you do. So remember that, right? At the end of the day, whether that kid at 10 years old, it's different at 18, it's different at 16 and even 14. But at 10 years old, your little girl right now just wants you to love them because you're their hero. Right? You're the person that they want to please. You're the person that they look up to. You're the person that, it does everything for them. So they're out on that field because you put them there, and you're watching them play, and you have good coaches coaching them, and they're enjoying it, and they're having fun, and the smiles and all that, right? When you watch your 10-year-old and she strikes out, right, watch what they do. They might pout and be upset because they've disappointed you, but 5 minutes later, most of them are going to be in the dugout chasing butterflies, looking at their friends, having good times, cheering, and doing all of that. So never forget that they're 10, right? These are the same kids. You want them to be perfect out on the field, and you want them to be the hero and get the hit and make the winning play and hold the trophy. But this is the same kid that you can't get to clean their room, put away their dishes, take the trash out, do their homework, play with their little brother or sister. It's that same kid. They don't get perfection shoes when they walk out on the field. So, when you're there, you guys work all week to watch your kids play, right? Some of you work 2-3 jobs. Some of you, whatever your situation is, you do it all week in order to watch your kids play. So enjoy those moments, right? There's so many good moments that happen with strikeouts. There's so many good teaching moments that happen with errors. There's so many good teaching moments that happen with a missed slide or a high tag or an overrunning of the base or a drop third strike that we didn't run for. There's so many teaching moments in there so that when these kids are 12, 14, 16 years old, not only have they become good in the game, but they've become good in life. They've become good in their thinking process. They've become good in their trust process with you, right? Because you're, again, as their parent, their coach, their only source of feedback, their only source of protection, their only source of love. You're their only source of anger, aggression, anxiety. You give those kids whatever you want them to have. So think about that, right? And when you're making that car ride home, right? Sometimes we want to help our kids be so good that we give them more information at the age than they can handle, and it actually makes them worse, right? If you get in that car one of these days and instead of going, oh my God, little Susie, that ball came right to you, or that ball was set up right on the tee, you should have hit that home run, or, why didn't you slide in that situation? Eventually your relationship is going to work itself into negative softball talk, and your kids are going to withdraw from you. Right? And you say, well, Bill, how do you know that? Well, I was a 10U coach and parent at one point. I was a 12U coach and parent at one point, and I didn't know all of the things that I'm telling you now. The car ride home, I wanted my kid to be perfect. Coach's daughter, yada, yada, yada. And we do all of these crazy things that we think are so important at the time. So, maybe you're not that car ride person home. Maybe you're the most wonderful parent in the world and you tell them how great they are all the time. That's amazing, right? Get with your friends and show them how to do that, because I didn't learn that until about 7 or 8, 9 years into this thing. It takes a lot of time to learn how to coach girls, especially as a grown man who's never coached girls. So when you get into that car, if you feel yourself wanting to correct your kid, give them that 48-hour rule, right? And Coach Danny can answer this question. I'm sure he has a 24 or a 48-hour rule, right? If you want to ask about where my kid is in the lineup, how come she didn't bat today? What do you mean my kid's playing third base? She's an outfield. What do you mean my kid's, especially in 10U? What do you mean you're putting my kid in the outfield? She's a shortstop. Let me tell you something, people. My daughter went to a $52,000 a year school for 4 years. That's $208,000. My total bill the whole time she was in school as an outfielder, I paid $20,000 total for her to go to school. So don't discredit any position in this game. So figure out where they play, right? But I'm sure my point there is if you've got a 48-hour rule and coach says, hey, parent, if you want to talk about playtime, if you want to talk about positions, you can't come to me Sunday after the tournament. You got to wait until Tuesday. Okay. So if we're giving another grown person that same respect, why then, as soon as the kid gets in the car, do we go, what happened? Where were you? Why didn't you in that position? How come you weren't playing backup? What it is? What of that? Do you really want? It's something that doesn't need to be done at that time, right? You will find that your relationship with your child grows so much more if you can get in the car and go, hey, you didn't have your best day today, but I'm excited to just watch you play this season because you're playing so much better than you did last season. You're improving. You're getting better. I see that you're working hard. Remember, 10 years old, right? They still sometimes need a nap in the afternoon at this age. So continue to reinforce positivity while still holding them accountable to a process. Hey, do you really want to play this sport? Because you haven't been doing your individuals throughout the week. We haven't had any tea time throughout the week. So if you don't see them showing that interest, hold them accountable to that process. But remember, at 10 years old, if you're a pitcher, you should have a fastball and be working on a changeup and maybe a little bit of movement. But you shouldn't be working on 7 different pitches. Right? If you're a shortstop, you should be learning second and shortstop. If you're a first baseman, learn the corners. If you're a catcher, have a secondary position. These kids should be playing every position on the field at 10U because you don't know how many pitchers in 10s, when they get to 12s, the ball is bigger. It's further away. Some kids' hands don't get bigger, so they can't grip the bigger ball as well as they grip the smaller ball, so they don't advance as pitchers, but they get more dexterity and become great second basemen. The kid that was the tallest kid in 10U, so she's at first base, now becomes the shortest kid in 18U, and, she's developed a different way. She becomes a catcher. So at this age, you should really be playing them at as many positions as you can, as often as you can, right? I know you want to win every tournament. You want to go on Facebook and, the team has done this and we're doing that and we're the hot team in town. But at the end of the day, if you worry about their development now, when they get to 14s and 16s and 18s where it really matters, they will be better mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and certainly athletically. Because when that time comes and the fun is over and the, the Starlight, Starbright Invitational and the Backwoods Brawls are all over, and now it's about the big national tournaments and it's about, the big showcases and colleges and profile sheets. When you get to that stage, it becomes a whole lot more serious. So you want to lay those foundations now, right? And that's kind of what I'm working on is, if you start in, finish in our league, you should start there. If you continue in a spot, continue to progress and get better. So as you progress through this process, many of you probably just went from rec ball to 8U and you're figuring out what travel ball is. Now, I don't know if you're first year or second year 10s, but if you're first year 10s, now you're really just figuring it out and you got a whole nother year and a half until you move back 5 more feet and get the bigger ball. And so much changes in that time frame. I can show you 12U pictures, and we had one of the top 4 12U teams in the area, and 40% of those girls did not go on to play college softball. They didn't want to. They just decided that, okay, mom and dad put me in softball from 8 to 15. Well, now I want to play soccer. Now I want to go, to the glee club. I want to go be an actor. Softball just fades away for some people. So when this game ends, the only thing that you're going to have left is your relationship with your child. Let me say that again. When this is all over, the only thing that you're going to have left is the relationship with your child. So at this point in time, man, it just have fun. enjoy what you're doing now, right? While we were trying to get this audio and this video figured out, like everybody was working hard for a common goal. The girls were all looking like the funny faces in the camera, trying to figure it out, right? Like you're having a party, you're celebrating something, you're enjoying each other. Do that. And, as parents and coaches, I would say you have to have established routines, right? Because parents, guess what? Coach is going to do something at some point in time that's going to make you mad. I guarantee it, right? He's going to do something, or she is going to do something to make you mad. They're going to make you question a call. They're going to make you question a lineup position. You're going to get mad about little Susie not being where you think she should be, and you're going to be upset. Right? And coaches, like you're going to think a player should do something or be somewhere or bat somewhere or shouldn't do something. And you're going to have to make tough coaching calls. And those two things combined cause anxiety and drama and issue, and people to go home and go, I can't believe the coach did not play her. Girl, if coach does that again, I'm telling you, right? And then coach goes home and goes, man, I can't believe those people did. If everybody would just communicate, if we would just use the proper communication skills and say, hey, coach, I'd really like to just have a conversation with you on Tuesday about what's going on with, little Susie, because I'm seeing some things that I'm just not sure about, and I want to ask those questions. Or coach, hey, little Susie's mom or dad, I really think that we should sit down and have a conversation. I'm not seeing the progress in little Susie that I think I should be seeing compared to everybody else. And what happens is we don't have those conversations because the parents don't want to be perceived as pushy or those people. And the coach doesn't have those conversations because he doesn't want to, rock the boat or, mess up the little friend group. So the anxiety keeps building, the drama keeps building, the tension keeps building, and then teams explode, right? So if you could do anything for your daughters who are all sitting down making good friends right now, that if you all have problems and decide they're not going to be on that team anymore, then they lose those friends because adults can't get along, it becomes very uncomfortable. So my suggestion as a coach who has coached multiple teams, put multiple kids through college, lost multiple players, made many of people happy, and quite frankly upset a lot of people along my way on my journey, would be communication. Talk to each other. Speak to each other, voice your concerns, good or bad, right? And then coach, if the player's doing something great, tell the kid, right? Say, get him something special, like buy him a special hat, tell the parents, give him an award. We used to do helmet stickers, and, they're 10. If a kid hits a triple and you just give her a daggum certificate of triple, right? Like, I don't know. I own a taco restaurant. LJ likes to say triples for tacos, right? If you hit a triple, then we're taking you to Capital Tacos. Or if you hit a triple, I don't know, make it fun, right? Because they do it in school. Hey, if you do this, you get this, So make it fun. The kids want to have fun. That's why you planned that party today. That's why you're having this talk. That's why you're trying to figure it all out. So, look, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to wrap it up, is just scheduling, right? These kids, they're 10. You should be playing as competitively as you comfortably can. You don't want to go into a tournament where, you lose you go 0-4 and you lose every run by 15 games, or every game by 15 runs. Like, that's not comfortable for anybody. That causes aggression. It causes anxiety. The kids start to feel like they're no good. Like, people say, okay, you got to challenge them. Okay, but you also have to use a little bit of common sense in protecting the well-being of your players. There's a difference between challenging and just getting overrun. So make sure that you're finding competitive tournaments that your kids can play and develop in. At the 10U age, it's okay every once in a while to go play a tournament that you're going to do well in, because kids need that boost. They need that confidence. They need that ability to be able to say, you know what, we can compete. We can hold our own. And then when you get that confidence, skills improve, confidence improves. So therefore, we go from a rec team to a C team to a B team to an A team to an elite to a gold to a platinum, diamond, whatever you want to put on it. It happens when best sold in steps. And you can build confidence and then get your butt whipped, and build confidence and get your butt whooped. So, coaches and parents, as you're figuring out a schedule, make sure it's competitive, but it's not getting your face blasted in every week too, because at this age, at 12s, at 14s, if you lose that confidence, kids will just stop playing and they won't find it to be fun anymore. And when they have that opportunity to make other decisions, they will, So what else? Rosters, right? Rosters at the 10U, 12U age, like you should have 11 or 12 players. Because what's going to happen is they're all going to go to school and they're all going to get sick. So, if we have 11, I can afford for 2 players to get sick and I can still play. Maybe I pick up I hated picking up guest players. I just never liked to do it, but I think 2 or 3 times I did. But you have 11 or 12 players. That way you can compete. You can rotate people around. And you know what? Parents, it's okay for little Susie to not play. She does not want to play every inning. I don't care what she tells you. She don't want to be out there in 75-minute games, back to back to back, chasing butterflies and waiting on a ball. She just doesn't. She wants to be in the dugout. She wants to cheer. She wants to be there with friends. Then she wants to be out on the field and have fun. Then she wants to come have pickle juice and the popsicles and ices and now and laters and 3 and 2 now. That's what they want to do. They want to do it all. So, it's okay for your kid to sit on the bench and learn how to be a cheerleader, because you watch this May, if you're just getting into softball, right? Watch the Women's College World Series this May. I mean, you'll see it. Teams of 20, 22, 23, 24. As a 16 to 18U coach in travel ball, I never held less than 18 players. So the quicker that they can learn to compete at this age, right? Because life is a competition, right? And if you lose every time, how that feels. So, you have to put them in, let them win. Take them out, let them sit. Become a good teammate. Become responsible. Learn how to be a good cheerleader. Learn how to pick up the slack. Because if you're doing it right, and this is how we coached our teams from the ground up, sitting on the bench, I hate that word sitting. It should be coaching from the bench, because this is where your player learns how to coach the game. Right? We call it sitting on the bench because that's what they're doing. And we're, as coaches, we got our heads in clipboards. Blue, 48-3, 5-1-2, little Susie back up, 3-1-8. Jenny, I got here. You understand what I'm saying? So the kid just sits on the bench when you could literally pull those 2 kids aside and go, okay, this is what I'm calling. 5-1-2. I'm calling a changeup, low and outside. Okay, so start teaching them the game in the dugout, right? Because when they get to 14 and 16 years old, you want them watching the pitcher. You want them, if I've got a lefty slapper and she's in my lineup and she's not watching the 7 batters before her to see what the first baseman is doing, what the shortstop is doing, how their defense is rotating, if a lefty went in front of her, what their movements are, because defenses are trained to do certain things. So the quicker you can learn what those things are, the quicker you can beat those things and win the game. So the earlier you can teach them from the dugout how to play the game, I mean, that's perfect opportunity. You have 15 minutes with a different kid every inning to be able to sit down and teach them more about the game. And it's a time for them to chase butterflies and cheer on their players and grab a pickle juice and, all of that. So listen, man, this is exciting times. Your kids are joining an amazing sport that is thriving, that is breaking national records in attendance, where scholarships are, just abounding, and more programs across the country are opening. And we live in the state of, well, I'm in Florida, but you live in the state of Florida and South Georgia, where, 85% of the time we can play ball throughout the year. We're not, ridden by snow or any of that. So, you guys, everybody goes, okay, I know I did. Okay, kids 10, 12 years old now, we can get them in sports. What should we do? Well, we elected to pick softball because that's what Jesse has to do. So enjoy this time. You had kids to have fun. You had kids to make memories. You had kids to do all of that, so enjoy it, right? Make it Disneyland every day. We're in a weird situation where every weekend or every other weekend, we get to go hang out with our best friends in the sunlight Drink Gatorades and waters. That should be all you should be drinking at the ballpark. Drink Gatorades and waters and eat good quality food and watch our kids thrive, survive, stay alive, get physically fit, learn life lessons, and really just have a good time. So make that whatever you want it to be. And then one more message to the parents, and then I'm going to talk to the players for just a few minutes, right? Parents, from a guy who's been doing this for 13 years, protect your health and your physical fitness through this journey. Because like I just said, you will spend every weekend or every other weekend at a ballpark, traveling across the country. If you get deep into this, you're going to be spending more nights in hotel rooms at times than you spend in your house, right? So it just depends on how much you want to do this. But, I found myself in 2015 as a fit, 175-pound, 35-year-old. And, 5 years later, I found myself as a 210-pound, 40-year-old because of sitting on a bucket, because of traveling all over, sleeping in hotel rooms, fast food restaurants, just compounding everything. And 4 years ago, I made a change on that, and that's what the hashtag 60 for me is about. 60 minutes a day. I know you can't see me, but 60 minutes a day for you to be able to find yourself. Because as parents, right now you're going through a lot. I got to be a good husband. I got to be a good wife. I got to be a good mother. I got to get to practice. I got to do work. I got to get to sports. I got the dog. I got the cat. I got Jiminy Cricket. Coach is calling me about this. My dues are due. What the heck? What do you mean it's $400 this month? You have all of this stuff, so we never have time. We always say we're busy. I'll get it next time. Well, that's how 5 years from now, when you're in 14 and 16, maybe you're not in your best shape. It's easy for us to tell the kid, go get your swings, go get your reps, and then we drop them off at practice and go to Starbucks and sit in the car for 45 minutes, and then they get in the car, and we tell them that they didn't work hard enough. What? Okay. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well. 60 minutes a day, 7% of your week, 1 hour out of every day, 23 other hours out of the day to go work, do what you got to do, all of that. So I'm encouraging you to take care of yourself. Players at 10 years old, I will close with this. Just have fun. Right? Tell mom and dad you love them. Learn to love the game. Just have fun. If something goes wrong, pick yourself up, grab your glove, dust it off, and know that you're going to make a million mistakes in this game every single day. So just keep working, just keep pushing. At 10 years old, man, the best thing that you all can do as a family is continue to communicate with each other, because this ride is a lot of fun, but the pressure to be perfect and to, just do so many things that really aren't reality start to pile up. So make sure you're educating yourself on the sport, on the process, on how it continues to grow. You can follow me if you want. Coach has got my Facebook information. He's got my TikTok information. He's got my Instagram information. I am actually starting a program here in 2024 for 10, 12, 14, 16, 18U teams to kind of continue to do these kinds of things. Weekly, semi-weekly mentoring sessions talking about softball, coaching, life, players, relationships, things like that, as well as, you guys are, 7 hours round trip, but with enough time and things like that. We come out, we do practices, we do clinics, we bring professional players out, former college players, things like that. Actually, my daughter lives in, how far are you guys from Jacksonville?
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. So my daughter lives in Jacksonville now. So, maybe we make that connection. So either way, I'm going to open it up. Questions. Any questions about anything I just said? That was about 30 minutes of information. Any questions?
All you got to do is speak if y'all want to talk to him. Y'all got any questions? Anything you want to know?
All right.
No?
Well, if it's something offline, again, you can reach me, through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. I'm happy to answer your questions or help out. Hopefully I said some things that make sense. Some things I say may, upset some people or be like, oh, okay, I never thought about that. But, if your true intent is for your child's well-being and for your child's mental health and athletic perseverance and resilience, then, I promise you all the things I'm saying because I've seen them from hundreds of families. So what's the plan for the rest of the day? We got a big dance party going on, or what's up?
Well, we're about to shoot some skeets to start with.
Okay. All right. Got it. So who's the best 10-year-old shooter?
Probably Allie.
Probably at the field.
Probably. Listen, man, this is what I love about my job, right? I was talking to a team, in another state the other day, and I could imagine that if I said to those girls, I'm like thinking dance party because that's what they were doing. And now here we are in South Georgia, and yeah, we might have a dance party, but we finna go shoot some stuff first. Man, I love that. I absolutely love it. That's good stuff, man. Diversity in people. It's good. All right, well, listen, if you don't have any questions, enjoy your shooting, enjoy your party, enjoy all of that. If you're looking for some good tournaments, I'll put a personal plug out there. I've got 4 PGF tournaments that I've put up in Jacksonville this year. They are for new teams that have never played. Gator Ball tournament. Our Gator Ball tournament is in Gainesville. That's April 6th. I've got 7, 8, 9, 10U teams signed up for that event right now. Teams from Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and then you play on Saturday for that event. And then on Sunday, all your players and coaches get free tickets to that Florida versus LSU softball game. And we provide a link for parents to buy their tickets. So it's a great team building event as well. So, oh, was that a shot? That sounded like a bee coming in hot. Well, very good.
No, they were booing. You said Florida, they were booing.
Oh, they was booing for Florida. Got it. Well, listen, you can come cheer on LSU. All I'm saying is it gives you an opportunity to compete against a bunch of different 10U teams you might not always see, So, all right, well, listen, I appreciate the talk. I appreciate the time to be able to bend your ear a little bit. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your party there, and we look forward to seeing you at any point in time in your softball journey, okay?
Thanks, Bill.
All right, guys, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.